Hello there, friend. This is Ron Shawley, the Executive Director of Laurel Highlands Historical Village, located here in western Pennsylvania in the Laurel Mountains in Cambria County. This video is about our veterans. It's about an individual who served in the Navy, who's no longer with us, but his memory will live on through this pontoon boat that was donated by his family. First of all, I'd like to talk a little bit about who we are. Laurel Highlands Historical, the year 2000. I'm sorry, 2000. What am I thinking, right? 2000. And our whole premise is based around our ethnicity, the various ethnic groups that have made up this region. More importantly, our preservation of preserving the heritage groups that make up the region. And included in that would be our veterans, which ironically in Cambria County, we have the most veterans who have served in the military from the entire state of Pennsylvania. Cambria County ranks #1 with veteran support. With that in mind, we took the initiative to find a small craft like you see before you as a means of taking out veterans who are disabled, who have PTSD. And these individuals who have PTSD returning from war, they absolutely need our help. And what we do is we end up taking the veterans out for either, a joyride, or we take them fishing, as you'll see here momentarily. So with that in mind, that's what we do. This is what we're about. We're about preserving our heritage, our history. But more importantly, we're here to give back to our veterans, because they're the ones who have sacrificed so much. They've shed their blood. For the freedoms that we all have. As you can see, we have received this pontoon boat, and again, from the family, from the Dasky family, they have done so much, but more importantly, they want to remember their brother, their father, their uncle, who gave his time to serve in the Navy from 1960 to 1962. Franklin John Dansky was a fireman 3rd class who served on board the USS Boxer CV-21. Now, ironically, right after Pearl Harbor, the United States government, of course we had to, we really ramped up our military. They were building ships, airplanes, everything, okay, to support the war effort, which we got dragged into because of Pearl Harbor. But here, the USS Boxer was a carrier in the end. Ironically, she was not only an aircraft carrier, but her classifications included, she was a CV, a CVA, CVS at the end, okay? Now, she basically was an aircraft carrier. She was a helicopter support ship for the Marines. She was a landing base for the aircraft of the time, okay? So the Boxer served a huge asset to not only the naval component, but to the air component as well. The Boxer was kind of a cool ship. It had a wooden deck, like they all did back then. She housed over 4,000 men, no women, because women weren't allowed aboard at that time. It was an all-men operation, 4,000 plus on board. And the kicker was, Franklin John was a fireman. And for those of you who have no idea, if you've ever been on board a ship, any kind of ship, those guys who stoke the fire, who work in the engine room, I mean, I've been there, folks. It's a rough job, okay? The sad part is, back in the day, we used asbestos almost on everything, and we didn't know much about asbestos, okay, and the dangers of it. Well, ironically, here, what took Franklin John's life was the exposure to asbestos, and he had no idea when he was working around it, okay, but you're talking about unbearable conditions, hot, over 100 degrees, the dangers of high pressure steam, or about all the time. It's invisible steam that could cut you in half, okay? But more importantly, it's just the really hot conditions, okay? No air conditioning, mind you. So hats off to any fireman who has served on board a ship working in the bilges, per se, you know? Back up, I'm going to back up a little bit to the USS Boxer, okay? Just a little bit of history about where she was at. She predominantly spent the bulk of her time in the Pacific area, the Pacific arena, okay? She was really too late to see any combat during World War II. But again, she was predominantly found in the Pacific Ocean. Her duties included training, exercises, launching the first carrier-based jet aircraft. Demobilization prevented much activity in the late 40s at the outbreak of the Korean War. She was used as an aircraft transport before arriving off Korean waters as the third U.S. carrier to join the force. Very, very impressive what she did. She supported the troops. She supported a lot of military actions that are classified still to this day. A little bit about Franklin John Dasky. He loved the water. Anything water, I guess, from what I'm being told, he loved it. He loved to go fishing. He loved the outdoors. More importantly, he loved his country. Like so many Americans who have given their time to serve in the military, be you man or woman, they are the ones who need a big thank you. Because without the military, be it the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Air Force, the Army, the Marines, without these folks, okay, these veterans, where would America be? All right? In all honesty, where would we be? And we can go back to the Indian Wars. We can go back to all the conflicts that we've had. Some good, some bad. All right, some can be debated, but the bottom line is, the veteran, they are the ones who gave willingly, sometimes, to fight for our freedoms. Okay, and Franklin John, he was such a veteran who gave of his time to protect our freedoms, so we have the right to do what we want. We recently christened the boat, and we named it the Veterans Pride, and it was christened at Yellow Creek State Park. And to the Pennsylvania Park System and Yellow Creek, I want to extend my gratitude and say thank you so much for allowing us to have the dedication there at your state park. Abraham Lincoln, a good friend of mine, Pastor Walt Marty, he's an impersonator, but I like to say old Abe, you know. He was our guest speaker, and he basically helped with a friend of his to christen the boat. And a little bit of information just for the side note here, okay? We hear a lot about christening the boat, but why is the boat christened, okay? Well, technically it's to offer up good luck to the people who board, you know, the boat before it touches water, all right? It imposes many traditions intended to overall give good luck. In Christianity, there would be the breaking of the champagne bottle over the bow. Other cultures shaped the religious ceremonies surrounding a ship launching. Jews and Christians customarily use wine and water as they called upon God to safeguard them at sea. Chaplain Henry Tagog of Britain's Royal Navy left an interesting account of a warship launch, a brigantine of 23 oars by the Knights of Malta in 1675. 2 friars and an attendant went into a vessel, and kneeling down prayed half an hour, and laid their hands on every mast and other places of the vessel, and sprinkled her all over with holy water. Then they came out and hoisted a pendant to signify she was a man of war, then at once thrust her into the water. So many customs and cultures have a different way of christening the boat, but overall, It's to bless her, to bless the people who sail upon that vessel. Now mind you, this is a boat, this is not a ship, okay? A boat is a small vessel, a ship is something like the Titanic, all right? This is not the Titanic, and she will not sink, okay? I'm gonna give a plug to the people that have helped us. Okay, I want to thank, at this moment in the video, I want to take a time out, a little break, before we go over the actual pontoon boat and the various features and those items that we are in need of, okay? But I want to thank the many companies that have already helped us with rehabbing the pontoon boat and bringing her up to standard, okay? Seaflow, that would include, with their generous donation, has given us various handy ramps. Big thank you to them, as they are right now making for us a ramp that'll be mounted to the front of the boat and allowing our handicapped veterans to walk off the boat onto the shoreline. Atwood Marine, thank you again so very much. Atwood has donated a lot of equipment that we need, safety equipment, whistles, horns. As you can see, they got side bumpers, okay, protective gear, a lot of equipment they donated, and for that I really want to say thank you, and we really appreciate Premium Marine, PowerTech props, okay, PowerTech propellers, okay, Michigan wheel props. They have been a huge support for years with Laurel Highlands. In the past, we had a number of boats that we would take veterans out on, and special needs children, and so often a fabric or an aluminum prop on a river, they do get banged up, okay? And again, they don't last very long, but they have given us the props we need, and we say thank you to them. Rubex props, Solus, okay? The Solus company has given us a prop that we're now currently using, okay? Okay, the prop on our boat, okay? Okay, here we, okay, there we go. Okay, here we have the Solus prop, okay? Again, we've been using it now for about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, okay? And again, they are very durable. They're well constructed, and they're finely tuned. So keep that in mind. Some call them mooring lights, but these lights allow us to see at nighttime where we're headed to, okay? I have to hold the camera steady there, but these are from Optronics. They provided the lights that you see here, and they also provided LED trailer lights, which are on board. Pontoonstuff.com. Thank you guys. Thank you immensely. They have donated, as you can see, we have a ladder that is really nice. It's just from pontoonstuff.com, and it just allows you to, it's a swim ladder, so you know, but even on shore, this ladder really comes in handy, you know, okay? We're looking for, and this is the most important thing, but right now, the boat is old, but I mean, but for its age, it's still in good shape, okay? But you know, we're looking for a bench. As you can see, the end of the, it's kind of, you know, it's old. The plastic edge on the bottom is bad, it's worn out. So we're looking for a new bench for the boat. The table broke at the base. I kind of re-glued it, but we're looking for a table assembly, okay, that we can use. Possibly a second bench, as this bench here is really old. You open it up, the wood inside is all, it's just basic plywood, and being 20 years old, it has definitely been out in the weather, okay? So we would like to see a bench there. You know, miscellaneous items. We need a new, probably going to need a new captain's chair eventually. We're going to need a tarp for the boat. We need a binny cover, as this binny cover has definitely seen better days. The tubing on it is worn out and bent. You can see it's just got a lot of corrosion to it. And what happens is, a lot of people who have a benny top, if it gets windy and they keep it up, okay, that wind is really hard on metal frame. It'll tend to bend it, okay? So definitely there. And again, this is it. You know, we have, you know, miscellaneous items that we need. So if you're watching the video and you're a company and you have anything that you can provide to us for the boat, again, it's going to be for the veterans, okay, because we're taking them out, okay? Anything you have that you could donate, we would appreciate it, okay? And for the listeners listening, again, we are accepting monetary donations, you know, in an effort to help. You know, again, it all comes back to helping out our veterans and making the boat we take them out on safe, okay? And I want to show you something. This is kind of neat. I've been watching these videos. I got the magnet you see there. Not only do we take veterans out fishing, I have a magnet, okay? And they drop it in the water, right? Oh my gosh, you have no idea what they're finding. Hooks, fishing rods, jewelry. Oh, it's amazing, okay, what people lose in the water. So yeah, it's kind of neat, you know, to take them out and, you know, let them play with the magnet, drop it in the water, see what they can find, okay? All right, if anybody has any questions, I'm going to post our contact information here on the video, all right? But again, I want to thank everybody that has helped us out immensely. It means a lot, okay? Because we couldn't do it without your support, all right? I'm going to try to get as much advertising as I can for those companies that have helped us out. We, also you see a Frabiel light there, okay? We have these lights that we got from Frabiel years ago, and they're great. I mean, they're battery operated, LED, but they're really, really bright.